Alright, let's dive into a story that's equal parts shocking and thought-provoking. Imagine this: two brothers, aged 7 and 4, somehow manage to take their parents' car for a joyride, and it ends in a crash that leaves a woman critically injured. This isn't a plot from a movie. It happened in Oakland, and it's raising some serious questions about parenting, child safety, and societal norms. So, let's break this down and explore what's really going on here. First off, what immediately stands out is the sheer audacity of these kids. I mean, a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. How did they even get the keys? According to their uncle, they took them while their parents were sleeping. Personally, I think this raises a deeper question about parental oversight. We're not just talking about a momentary lapse in judgment. This is a situation where two young kids had access to a car, which is essentially a weapon in the wrong hands. What many people don't realize is that this isn't just about the kids. It's about the environment that allowed this to happen. Are we, as a society, failing to teach kids about boundaries and consequences? Or is this an isolated incident that's being blown out of proportion? I'm not sure, but it's definitely something to think about. Now, let's talk about the crash itself. Surveillance footage shows the car sideswiping another vehicle, and then hitting a woman walking her dog. The woman is in critical condition, and the boys are injured too. The 7-year-old has a broken leg, and the 4-year-old has a concussion. What makes this really interesting is the chain of events that led to this moment. How did these kids, who are barely old enough to tie their shoes, manage to start a car and drive it? From my perspective, this isn't just about their ability to operate a vehicle, it's about the lack of safeguards in place. Shouldn't there be child locks on car doors? Or better yet, shouldn't parents be more vigilant about where they keep their keys? This raises a broader question about responsibility, not just for parents, but for all of us. Are we doing enough to prevent these kinds of tragedies? Another detail I find fascinating is the public reaction to this story. Some people are quick to blame the parents, while others are more sympathetic, pointing out that kids can be unpredictable. Personally, I think both sides have a point. On one hand, leaving car keys within reach of young children is a recipe for disaster. On the other hand, kids are curious, and sometimes they do things that defy logic. What this really suggests is that we need a more nuanced conversation about child safety. It's not just about pointing fingers, it's about finding solutions. Maybe that means better education for parents, or maybe it means designing cars with more safety features. Either way, this incident is a wake-up call. If you take a step back and think about it, this story is a microcosm of larger societal issues. We live in a world where technology is advancing faster than our ability to regulate it. Cars are more accessible than ever, but are we teaching kids how to handle that access responsibly? And what about the woman who was injured? She was just walking her dog, minding her own business, and now her life is forever changed. This raises a deeper question about the fragility of our daily routines. We often take for granted that we'll make it home safely, but stories like this remind us that's not always the case. In my opinion, the most important takeaway here is the need for collective responsibility. It's not just about one family or one incident, it's about creating a culture where safety is a priority. We need to have honest conversations about parenting, about child safety, and about the role of technology in our lives. What many people don't realize is that these kinds of incidents can happen to anyone. It's easy to judge from the outside, but the truth is, we're all vulnerable in some way. So, let's use this as an opportunity to learn and grow, rather than just pointing fingers. As I wrap this up, I'm left with one lingering thought: what does this say about us as a society? Are we doing enough to protect our most vulnerable members? Both the kids who don't fully understand the consequences of their actions, and the innocent bystanders who get caught in the crossfire. It's a tough question, but one that's worth asking. So, I'll leave you with this. What changes do you think need to be made to prevent something like this from happening again? Let me know in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation going.